Hey there. Today, I want you to forget about textbooks and boring diagrams for a little while. Instead, we're going to go on a guided tour. We're treating the human core like this incredible landscape full of superhighways, critical junctions, and amazing foundations. The map? Well, it's your own body. So, let's get started. Really think about it. Inside you, right this second, is a network that's way more complex and efficient than any city on the planet. You've got supply lines, processing plants, support structures, all of it working in perfect harmony. So we're going to explore that map, stop by stop, and really see how it all connects. So here's our plan for this little tour. First up, we'll trace the major supply lines, what I'm calling the vascular superhighways. Then we'll stop at a critical digestive junction, where a bunch of pathways meet. After that, we'll check out the foundations and passageways that give everything its structure. And finally, we'll zoom out and see the body's blueprint to understand how the whole thing fits together. Okay, our first stop, the vascular system. You really have to think of these arteries and veins as these massive superhighways that keep every single part of your internal city fueled up and clear of waste. Seriously, without them, everything would just grind to a halt.
So, to really get a handle on these highways, let's look at how they supply a key area, the digestive tract. It's kind of divided into three zones: the foregut, the midgut, and the hindgut. So here's a little pop quiz for you. Which of the body's major arteries is the main supply line for that really important middle section? Go on, take a guess.
And the answer is the superior mesenteric artery, or SMA for short. This one artery is an absolute powerhouse. Just imagine one single highway exit that branches off to service an entire state. That's basically what the SMA does. It supplies everything from your small intestine all the way through most of your large intestine. Incredible.
And what this really shows us is just how logical the whole system is. It's a perfect division of labor. The other major arteries, they have their own very distinct jobs. The celiac trunk takes care of the foregut, the inferior mesenteric handles the hindgut, and the renal artery, it's dedicated entirely to the kidneys. There's just no wasted effort.
So this lays it out perfectly. You've got these three main arteries, and they neatly divide up the work for the entire digestive system. It's just so efficient. But, delivery is only half the story. Now we need to see how the return trip works on the venous side of things.
So, after the arteries deliver all that oxygen and fuel, the veins have to collect the blood, which is now full of all the nutrients you absorbed from your last meal. A major hub for all of this is the portal vein. Its job is to direct all that nutrient-rich blood to the liver to be processed. So the question is, which two major veins come together to create this super important vessel?
The correct answer is the splenic and the superior mesenteric veins. You can almost picture it, right? It's like two massive rivers merging into one. The splenic vein carries blood from the spleen, and the superior mesenteric vein, well, that's carrying all that nutrient-rich blood we just talked about from the midgut. They meet up right behind the pancreas, and boom, you've got the portal vein.
Yeah, understanding the flow of traffic here is everything. The inferior mesenteric vein, it's just a tributary. It flows into the splenic vein first. Think of it like a smaller road merging onto the main highway. And the hepatic veins, they're the exit ramp. They drain the processed blood out of the liver. It's a one-way system, and every single vessel has its designated direction.
All right, we're leaving the highways for now. Our tour is pulling into a really critical intersection, a junction where multiple systems all come together to do one of the most important jobs in all of digestion.
This junction is called the ampulla of Vater. The best way to think of it is as a little regulated gate where essential digestive juices get released into the small intestine. So what two pipes meet here to create this vital little structure?
And here it is. This is where two incredibly powerful systems join forces. You've got the common bile duct, which carries bile from the liver to break down fats, and it merges with the main pancreatic duct, which carries enzymes to break down, pretty much everything else. They combine in this little chamber before releasing all their contents together into the intestine. Teamwork at its finest.
And this really helps us keep our system straight. The hepatic artery and the portal vein, that's the building's blood supply, right? The fuel lines bringing energy in. The bile and pancreatic ducts, though, that's the specialized plumbing that delivers the digestive fluids. Two totally separate systems working side by side in the exact same neighborhood.
So for our next stop, we're going to shift our focus a bit. We're moving away from fluids and flows, and now we're going to look at the core's physical architecture, the muscles and channels that give it structural support and create these really important passageways for other things to travel through.
Let's start from the bottom up.
Literally, the floor of the pelvis. The entire weight of your pelvic organs is resting on this incredible muscular sling. So which muscles are the ones that come together to form this crucial support structure? The pelvic diaphragm.
And the answer is the levator ani and coccygeus muscles. Together, these two form this strong, supportive hammock right at the base of the pelvis. It is without a doubt one of the most functionally important and yet most often overlooked structures in our entire body. So why does it matter so much? Well, this muscular floor is what's physically holding up organs like the bladder and the uterus, keeping them from dropping down or prolapsing. And it's absolutely essential for controlling urination and defecation. It really is a true unsung hero of the core.
Okay, final quiz of the tour. Let's look at a very specific passageway, the inguinal canal. It's basically a natural tunnel that goes through the abdominal wall. Now in males, it's famous because that's where the spermatic cord passes through. But what structure uses that exact same route in females?
And the structure is the round ligament of the uterus. It's this fibrous cord that starts at the uterus, passes right through the inguinal canal, and then attaches all the way down at the labia majora. It's just a fascinating example of how the body uses a similar developmental blueprint and adapts it for different purposes in males and females.
And this makes the distinction crystal clear. The testicular artery and the vas deferens, those are the male parts that pass through that same tunnel. The ovarian artery, on the other hand, has a similar job. It supplies the gonad, but it takes a completely different route to get there. It's all about specific pathways for specific parts.
And that brings our little anatomical tour to a close. We've traveled the superhighways, we visited a critical junction, and we've inspected the foundations. So now, for our final view, let's just zoom out and take a look at the body's blueprint.
You know, this is the most important thing to take away from our tour today. Anatomy isn't about memorizing a long list of names. It's about understanding a dynamic, interconnected system. It's seeing how the shape of a blood vessel is perfect for its function, or how the location of a junction is exactly where it needs to be to do its job. It's really a story of elegant design.
As we finish up, here's one last thought for you. Right now, as you're just sitting there, all of these systems are working in perfect concert. Your superior mesenteric artery is pulsing. Your pelvic diaphragm is providing support. So just take a second to consider, what other hidden connections are keeping you going right now? Thanks for joining the tour.